This fixes the New York Jets' biggest problem, as insiders have been projecting the New York Jets to go for a player that no one saw coming, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Jets Football 365. If you're a New York Jet fan, please hit that subscribe button. We're making videos every single day. But getting into the news for today, from Sports Illustrated, Tanner Engstrand's offense needs a wide receiver too, and the 49ers are not paying Jennings what he wants. Could a one-for-one swap actually be in the cards? Jennings has wanted a new contract for quite some time, and he is scheduled to hit free agency in the coming months. Why not beat everyone else to the punch and ensure that they can pair Garrett Wilson with the best non-Davante Adams wide receiver that he's ever suited up with in his career? Jennings might be a bit of a one-year wonder, as he only has 1 year in San Francisco with more than 500 yards receiving, but he was one of San Francisco's most clutch playmakers. Even without gaudy production, you don't earn a nickname like Third and Juwan without being a reliable target over the middle. So, we talk about, when it comes to the New York Jets, one of the number one things that they have a problem with is not picking up third downs. So, the Sports Illustrated is saying the New York Jets should be trading Quincy Williams, their former All-Pro linebacker, to the San Francisco 49ers to pick up the San Francisco 49ers wide receiver. This is where I say wide receiver 1, 2, or 3, but I have no idea how that wide receiver room shakes out because everyone's injured all the time, and that kind of includes Juwan Jennings as well, but he's a really good player. I know Quincy Williams is a really, really good player as well, but when push comes to shove, wide receivers are more important than linebackers. If we look at Quincy Williams' stats so far on the season, 11 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks, no forced fumbles or interceptions, but I mean, no one causes turnovers on this New York Jets team in the year 2025 for whatever reason, so that's really nothing new. But if the New York Jets were able to acquire Juwan Jennings, that would pair Garrett Wilson with actually a real wide receiver. Now, you may say, we played 8 games with Garrett Wilson and we never won. We played 7 games without Garrett Wilson. 6 games without Garrett Wilson, never won. Then we played 2 games without Garrett Wilson, and one of those games we won. So maybe Garrett Wilson, maybe wide receivers isn't the option. That's not the right mentality. The Jets, it was not a wide receiver, having them or not having them that led to the win. It was just really something that happened. And what the big thing that happened is that Justin Fields played really well. I almost called him Trevor Fields. Justin Fields played really, really well, finally, for the first time since week 1. Yes, it was up against a very, very weak Cincinnati Bengals defense, a defense that is surrendering bottom 3 in yards per game allowed on defense. Not very good at all, but Juwan Jennings is someone that Justin Fields is going to love throwing to him over the middle of the field if the New York Jets were to go ahead and go out and acquire him, because just like the article said, they call him Third and Juwan. The guy just picks up every third down. No matter who's on the outside, he's not really an outside wide receiver. He's more of a chess piece that you can move around all over the formation. It gives Tanner Engstrand an opportunity to really be able to scheme things up, be creative, and figure out ways to get his guys in motion, get guys involved in ways that maybe other offensive coordinators are not thinking about. When I'm thinking about creative plays, I always think about when that play where the Detroit Lions have Amon-Ra St. Brown lined up as pretty much as a fullback, and he catches the ball and then pitches it out to someone else. That's a play where there are so many options for Amon-Ra St. Brown on that play, and you are getting your playmakers the football any means necessary. That's what needs to happen with this New York Jets offense with Garrett Wilson, and Juwan Jennings would give us another playmaker to just give Tanner Engstrand so much more opportunity to be creative. Now, you may argue that the New York Jets don't want to win games this season because we need to tank and we need to get as high in the draft as we possibly can to get a great chance at a quarterback like a Fernando Mendoza or a Dante Moore or Lenora Sellers, whoever your favorite quarterback is. If you're the New York Jets front office, your favorite quarterback is definitely Lenora Sellers, but we're going to find out whether or not Lenora Sellers is deserving of a high first-round pick. To me, he's more Anthony Richardson and less of Jaden Daniels. The difference is Anthony Richardson was extremely very raw, did not play a whole lot of games at the University of Florida. Lenora Sellers, currently a redshirt sophomore, so he still has 1 more year of eligibility. Had a really good redshirt freshman season, but so far has not lived up to expectations. With Jaden Daniels, LSU runs an NFL-style offense, which means that he is making real NFL type of reads. He is not just, it's not predetermined stuff. He's not just it's not using gimmicks, using the wider hash marks of the college football game. It is reading safeties, reading pre-snap motion, from the defense, reading the way the guys are moving and predicting where they're going to be, and then being able to read real life NFL concepts as you may find them in the college football game. So I'm a little bit worried that the New York Jets are going all in on Lenora Sellers, but whether or not, we need to find another quarterback. I know Justin Fields played pretty well against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he also played well against the Steelers, but in the middle, it's been absolutely terrible. Our owner, Woody Johnson, should not have said what he said about Justin Fields, but he wasn't wrong. Justin Fields has not played well enough for this season to show that he is the New York Jets starting quarterback going forwards. Currently, with that win versus the Cincinnati Bengals, the New York Jets have played themselves out of the first overall pick. That is currently owned by the New Orleans Saints. So we're going to have to see how tiebreakers play out, how the rest of the season breaks out to figure out who is actually going to be making that first overall selection. Some interesting things with the New Orleans Saints. They, just like the New York Jets, need a quarterback. They have a wide receiver, one from Ohio State from 2022 in Chris Olave. They I don't know if he's the offensive coordinator or the quarterback's coach, but they have a coach named Doug Nussmeier, who's the father of Garrett Nussmeier coming out of LSU, someone who is projected to be a first-round pick starting the season, had a good game against Clemson, but then every single week we realize, wow, Clemson is really, really not good. Maybe Garrett Nussmeier isn't that good either. So depends on, that's hopefully something that will draw the New Orleans Saints towards Garrett Nussmeier. Also, Saints in Louisiana, LSU, Louisiana State University, just another connection that makes Garrett Nussmeier feel like the quarterback that the New Orleans Saints would gravitate towards, and they would just find more reasons to convince themselves that that is the quarterback that they want to use as their franchise quarterback going forwards. But the New York Jets, I'm just hoping that Fernando Mendoza is going to be on the board long enough for the New York Jets to pick him up. Probably going to need the first overall pick to accomplish that. But whoever that starting quarterback is going to be, he's going to need more wide receivers than just Garrett Wilson, because Garrett Wilson is not a superhero. He is going to be injured just like every NFL player gets injured at some point during their career. And right now, when Garrett Wilson's hurt, there's just no other wide receivers behind him. We have hope that not Anaya Smith, that Arian Smith from Georgia, a rookie 4th-round pick this season, we're hoping that he can develop into something for the future, but he's not going to be so much of a game changer this year. Probably not a game changer next year either. He's more of a field stretcher right now at this stage of his career, but he's working every single day with the New York Jets training staff at practice, working on his route running, working on his hands. Hopefully he can develop into a wide receiver 3, or at least some sort of gadget wide receiver that the New York Jets can use. Think Kevontae Turpin from the Dallas Cowboys. And that's kind of what the New York Jets would be able to do if Arian Smith was able to properly develop. But I just realized I didn't show off the stats of Jauan Jennings so far. In 2024, he had his best season of 975 yards, 6 touchdowns, and that was pretty good. 12.7 yards per reception. This season, much more disappointing than that, but he's been injured. He's a good wide receiver. He's just injured. Not the most exciting wide receiver in the world, because he is not a wide receiver 1. I know it's not Chris Olave. He's not the most exciting wide receiver on the market, but he's going to be cheaper than that. We would get draft picks on top of Jauan Jennings to trade away Quincy Williams, because even though linebackers are more expensive than wide receivers, Quincy Williams is an ex-All-Pro, and Jauan Jennings is a bit of a question mark in this stage of his career, even if he does profile like a pretty good wide receiver too, that the New York Jets absolutely need and can absolutely use. So I'm hoping to see the New York Jets get active, unless they're just going to roll over and tank, which absolutely could be an option for this team. But that's what I got for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Thanks for watching all the way through, and go Jets.